one thing I do know about recursion is that when you call a recursive function, each invocation gets its own stack frame on the program's call stack. Um, I say this because, let me see here. So if I have to integrate, hold on, if I have to implement the string reversal function, so basically, let me see something here. Let me see. So I'll go ahead and create a package. Actually, let me just skip the package, assuming I can skip the package, but let me see position it 6. Let me call this string reverser. Let me say that's a class. Let's say string reverser. Call a public say reverse string, right? This over here. This, or yeah. All right, so yeah, yeah. Okay. All right, so let me try to. Um, So let me say, so the idea here is to, let me actually create something. Let me do some, let me try to attempt to do a test driven development here. I was going to create a class. Let me say this. I need to understand here. Okay. I need to understand. Let's get this out of here. Sessions. So the idea is, let me see. So the idea is, let's say, so to reverse strings, right? So, let me say reverse strings, right? Let me say word. Insert here. All right. So what should I say? Hello. Let's say hello, right? So this hello is going to be reversed, right, by the function. Let me see, be reversed by the function. By the reverse string. Okay. So by the reverse string, like this. By the reverse string inside the class string reverser. String reverser. All right, so hello is a parameter. And this reversed word here, so that will be OLLEH. So it'll be, so I have to assert something like OLLEH, something like this. Essentially, this is what we're building. So then this means I need an input parameter here, right? String. So let me say like string, call this s. I got a question. Like, what if it's I don't know if should I write the question here, but let me write the question here maybe. How do I get this done? Is this correct? assume. Let me say like parameter s, right? Like main, I assume. May I assume that it may be empty or null. Right, that's like one of the questions I have. So let me come here to this test here. So I have hello. This is my word. So let me change this. So now s. So that means that s becomes, s is the parameter. So like s becomes hello, right? And let me say frame actually. Let's say frame. Frame 1. Right. And I'm saying frame because in recursive functions, each frame is isolated, so the local variables don't like clash with one another, clobber, or whatever better word you may understand as like clashing. So that in which that means is that they live in separate frames. So I'm just trying to how do I say, picture all this here in my mind as I go with this, trying to unpuzzle everything here. And so let's say frame 1 is, let's say so let's say I enter the parameter hello, right? Like I want the final, hold on, so I want s to finally then be this, right? Like OLEH. Okay, so let's say, so that's a variable. Let me do like something like this. So let me say variable, and let me create another variable here. Let me say, let me use last. I'll say last, and I'll pull O, right? I'll pull O, which is a last word, from S. And then the rest, like let me say another variable here, I'll say like the rest, right? Of the word, or the rest of the string, the input string now becomes HELL, yeah. And so then like we recurse, right? Yeah, we're recursing to in this case the test. Let's see, reverse string. So we recurse back into the reverse string, and now this becomes like something like hell, right? trying to pseudocoding my way through this to understand here the logic. So then if I recurse into reverse string, and this is while the variable last is kept safe in frame 1, because then I can go then to frame 2. So while O, right? So while O, right, safely, let me say safely stored in this frames, let me say in this frames last, right? Say for variable. Sorry, I didn't go to frame 2, right? And let me just do like this. So frame 2 now as so the last word, the last character is L, and the rest now becomes hell with a single L. And then again, it recurses into reverse string as. Does it make sense? Does this make sense? Hold on, let me see if it makes sense. I feel like, is there something missing here? Right? Yeah, the reverses. Let me see, because I need to like write it. Should I have another variable to? You know what? Let me return maybe. Let me think. Should I maybe like? Let me see. Let me just complete this and see how far I can get this. Let's see, frame 3. So frame 3 now is L. This now becomes L, and this becomes he. So this here becomes he, and I'll say this is while. So this is while L. This is while L as well. And I'll say frame 4. Yeah, like frame 4. Frame 4 now becomes how many? What's the length of this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. 2, 4, 5. Okay. So frame 4 now becomes hold on. So we start with hello. We can jump into hello because that's the rest of frame 1. The rest of frame 2 is hill, and so that becomes hill. The rest of frame 3 is he. Okay, so then this is he. The last is obviously E, and the rest is H. The rest is H. Let me see something here. So let's go age while is. So let's start in the frames last variable. Let me see here. And I could probably have like a variable to, I don't know, just call it n for now, like a variable to store the length, right? Like store the length of s, right? Let me see like this, the length of a variable s, right? And let's say like if we can say like if the length, no, actually, since n, okay, so then I can say then if n is like less or equal, say equal to like 1, right? I want to check something like, so if n is less or equal to 1, see here, so because here the rest, in frame 4 the rest variable is just 1. What do I do from here now? This is what I want to check, if it's equal, less or equal to 1. Let me see then, recursion to, well, is safely stored in the frames like, yeah. So last is e, because I can, all right, so in this last, I'm getting there. I think I'm getting something. I feel like I'm getting something here. I am getting something here. Okay, since we're done here, right? This is age. So then so that should return, right? Now let me return, you know what? So that means, if I go into, oh, let me go to frame 5. I know what to do. So I'll go to frame 5 and it'll check if s, which in this case is only now age, and with this age I can say if n is less than, right, less than, let's see, less than or equal to 1, so it should return, right? So like return, and let me say in this case, so what do I have here? So we have last, let me say last, last, in this case it's age, so it's just 1, right? So since, so if, let me see, yeah, so put like last year, age, and then what comes after last again? Rest, okay, so rest, I mean the rest is also, so everything's just gonna be age anyways. So everything here is age. Let me just see. So since everything is age, what I can do here is I can set a condition. We can just return as, it doesn't really matter. So we return as, and that then means let me see here. Let's pop these frames here. Let me unwind, right? This, let me unwind this text. Let me unwind this text by saying by, so we ended at frame 5, right? So let me see. We end at frame 5. So now unwinding beginning at frame 5. So let me say frame. Let me go back like this. So we start from frame 5, and frame 5. All we're gonna do is does it start with frame 5? Because then if it's the last one, okay, no, it already, so the last memory is on stack frame 5, so it already knows. So let me go back to frame 4. And the way this will work is that it resumes. So okay, let me resume frame 4. Let me do it like this. And now I'll just say that the rest, try to figure out here. Let's see here. It's supposed to be O, right? O. See if this makes sense. Let me see if this makes sense here. So I want to have a variable that reverses, and I'll say what do we store here. I'm trying to figure out here. So the last is hello. Hold on. So this is age. So then do I do age? Right? Because like, so frame 5 ends with age, right? With edge. So when we go back to 4, so to frame 4, we store age, and in this case, for the last, right? So in this case, the last of frame 4, which is E, right? D. So like, let me return it. Let me do it like this. So return. Let me see, like a new variable. Let me say last, right? The variable last here. So the variable last, let me say like class, the rest reserve, which is let me see here, hold on. Yeah, so frame 4, what's the last of frame 4? E, okay, so which is E. The rest and the rest the rest reverse is age, right? Okay, that was really a lot. I spent a lot of time there, but I think I figured this out. So then I go back to frame 3. So we're going down, right? Let me see like this. Okay, so this now becomes frame 3. Okay, the rest reverse. So what what do we bring? What do we bring? What do we bring? So from 3 this becomes EH, or wait, hold on. How did we end here? Hold on, let me try to figure it. Let's say I have to organize myself here. So this becomes EH, all right? So then this becomes EH for rest reverse. And now the last of frame 3 is L. So that's L. And the rest reserve is EH. Okay, I think we're almost getting there. So now copy this. So now let me say for frame 2, frame 2 is now like this. Let me do this. LEH. So this is LEH. The last here is, what's the last one, frame 2? L. So we leave it like L plus LEH, which then becomes, because we are concatenating, yeah? We're concatenating last and rest reserve. So last is L, rest reserve is LEH, which then becomes a full string of le, as an L, double LEH. Right? So for frame, and then on frame 1, what are you gonna do in frame 1? So frame 1, see, so we started what frame? Yeah, last is what? What's the last in frame 2? L. Okay, so for frame 1, we have L double LEH, and the last of frame 1. What do we do here for last of frame 1? Is O. Yeah, O plus L, which then becomes OEH. Oh, that is it. That's correct, right? I thought I was gonna miss another frame. I thought I was gonna need actually another frame. But yeah, this is yours as Ola. Yeah, right? Yeah, I think I got it. Ola. Let me see here. Hello, right? It's reversed. Let me see here. right? So that means like, so that means, and in like assuming that it may be empty or null, the parameter. So let me put a condition here and say that if s is null, right? Um, you know what? I'm gonna hold on. Since I'm preserving the null and it's just really one block here, let me hold on. Let me do something sharp like that. Let me return null. That's it. And sorry, just say it like this: preserves null. And then I'm gonna need this. Where's my flowchart? Put this over here for some direction here. Okay. Okay. And I'll say, let me say, let me say f not right, and which is the length of the variable, right? So let me say int n, which is the length. Right. We have some errors here. What's going on? Try to figure out here. Should be well indented. Yeah, I'm well indented. But yeah, so we have the length, and then let me say if right at n, if n is less than or equal, so I'll say if n right is less than or equal than 1, because this is just to check if this is to help me check, to help the program check that when it reaches frame five, when the program reaches a frame 5, because every frame is memory allocation essentially. So when it reaches frame 5 and it checks that the character is less or equal to 1, then it just unwinds the stack. And so I'm just gonna say return s here. Right, let's say return s here. Yeah, and see ya. Okay, so and that's my base case. So I'll actually do this. That's my base case here. All right, let's see. All right. I think read this. Why am I getting, hold on. Parsing. You know what? Hold on. that. Let's see. I don't know what this is. I'll figure it out later. Anyways, so now, what do we do here? What do we work on? So we have S, right? So we have S. Let's work on last. And let me just say char. Right, let me just say char. Say s dot. Say char. And say this is like so. So that it reverses all but the last character, right? So it so it immediately isolates the last character of the sorry sorry so that it reverses the last so that it isolates the last character of the input the input string. All right, and then say string, and here I'll have the rest reserved, reversed actually, and I'll say, and I'm gonna recurse it, right? So I'm gonna recurse into the, yeah, I'm gonna recurse it, and I'll use a substring, which just lets you a substring of like s, right, which lets you pull portion, right, pull a portion of the existing string. Hold on. And then when it pulls a portion of the existing string, right, as a brand new string object, right, with begin and end index. So let's say in one, close here, and then we return. I will return. What do we return? What do we return? The last. Okay, so we return last, and the rest reserved. It's better work, to be honest. This better work. I'm just gonna compile this. Okay, it's not gonna work. Got an error, yeah. Let me see what's the error. Hold on, see and I'm actually also like, this is my recursive case, right? Come on, IDE, don't do me like that, man. Reached end of file. Oh, there should be a curly brace missing here, because hold on, let me see. End of file. Okay, now I get it. End of file while parsing. Okay, so it's a curly brace missing here. It's a curly brace missing, and then this is a typo. I can immediately tell that's a typo, and this is also a typo. Substring. Are we good? Rest. Reversed, actually. I don't know why I'm always writing here. Let me see. Reversed. S here, and then so S here. Okay. Wow. A lot of errors. Do apologize for that. So we're good? Okay. Check here. Let me add a parameter, and I'll just say return, right? The reversed string, right? And since I'm also checking if it's null, right? Null. Should I say like null if input, right? Is null and empty. I guess it doesn't matter. Same thing. But yeah. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. This better work. Let's see here. Let me run this actually now. Let me. Oh my goodness! Error again here. String reverse string. What is the error? What is the error? Where? Can't see. Come string reverser. So here's the error. Oh, typo. Okay. Another typo. Should be good now. Where is my? Oh, there we go. Let me test this. Okay, so seems to be working. Seems to be working. So let me create some more cases here. Let me create some more cases. Let me say. Let me test what? Let me test. Let me test like a palindrome, right? Let's see a palindrome here. Let me test a palindrome. And let me see. And let me see if I can fail this palindrome intentionally here. So let me say. Okay. Let me say. Let me see, madam. Right, and it should be the same way, madam. But let me just say Adam. All right, I'll leave it like that. And then let me test as well. Let me say. What else should I test? Let me say reverse space. I'm gonna fail everything intentionally here, so I'm just gonna say tick tack. And I'll just say tactic. Tactic. Okay, okie dokie. Let me save here myself some space here. me say let me say let me say let me say where's the empty string? Let me just say empty string. Right? And let me say, let me test null here. How do you test null again? I think it's public. Let me say reverse. Let me say reverse. I think it's assert. I don't know if this is correct, but it should be something like assert equals, assert null equals, something like that. I could be wrong here, I'm not sure, but I'm hoping I get an error to fix it anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna say string reverser here. Man, I should definitely I should shorten this, to be honest. Just write like SR. And reverse string. Right, and I'll just say null here. And let me test like some numbers. Oh, okay, so we get an error here. Let me see. Let me try assert null. Not sure. Ah, okay, assert null. Yeah. Let me try one more. Let me say test. Let me see numbers. Assert equals. And I'll fail this one as well. I'll just say 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'll just say 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, should I actually save it in strings? I'm gonna save it in strings, but hold on. I just want to see something real quick here. Say string cursor dot first string. And I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let me save this in strings. Alright, so it's the same thing essentially. Yeah. Okay, let me save these and let me go ahead and test the rest these other test cases here. Did I miss anything? Let me also test one more thing here. Let me test one more thing here. Let me say, oops. Let me say, let me have it open. Essentially, this is not technically an empty string, right? Because this is a character. Space is a character, so, but I'll just save it like that. And Yeah, let me actually, as a matter of fact, let me save one more thing here. What's going on here? Let me save one more thing here. Let me say, I don't know. Let me say Java, and I'll say, all right, and I'll do this, because why not? All right, let's go ahead and test this. Okay, so we passed the empty string case. Everything in passed. So, okay, so this is okay. The null is good. The null is good. The reverse word is good. And let me just say string here, because word is. Let me just say like reverse simple string. Yeah, so the simple string is good. The empty string is good. The reverse null is also good. Let me see the palindrome. Yeah, we intentionally failed that. So expected Adam, but was Madam. So this is Madam. Okay. Then the reverse numbers. All right. Let me see what's reverse numbers here. Sorry. So expected 1, 2, 3, 4, but was 4, 3, 2. All right. So that's gonna be 4, 3, 2. 4, 3, 2, 1. And what else? What else? With space. Tactic, but was cat sit. Okay. So it was cat sit. All right. So now let's test our cases again. Let's run our cases again. Okay, so we fail reverse numbers. Reverse numbers, and yeah, definitely where's reverse numbers? I'll need a string because I need a string builder for it. But okay, let me just do this. Let me just do this. There we go. Let's test it again. Oh, okay. So here we have expected Java 212, but was Ava. Oh, okay, but it was Ava J 212. Okay, Ava J. Let me just go ahead and copy like this. Saves me much more time. Let's run this case again. And there we have it.